Alrighty everyone, welcome back to the live stream here on the Freedom Tracker app. So, been poking around trying to figure out about where we started at, or ended at last time. And we are working on filtering out goals for like our weekly, monthly spending, all of that stuff. So, right now it says 0 out of 300 because one, we have a bug here. So let's go ahead and fix this bug. Save that. I don't know that's going to change anything over here. But if we go in here, we can see that our weekly goal started on Sunday, February 15th. So Feb 15th looks good. And Saturday 21 also looks good. So that is getting set up properly. That just means that I don't know why it's $0 because we definitely have this. So now let's just keep looking. Now we have the transactions here. Where are we using this transaction? So we have our calculate total goal. We have our filter. So here, where are we actually console logging amount tracked right here? Are we ever setting amount tracked anywhere? We are here. And we are doing this. So this should be const filtered for this week's transactions. And then let's console.log this week's transactions just to make sure that we're getting them back. And I'm going to get rid of this print. Okay, so this is coming back as empty. Okay, so that means that this is not working, even though. So we have transaction date is equal to the date. So let's make sure that this looks good. This is gonna be a mess. Console.log. Let's do this. This is gonna get really messy for a second, but that's fine. Trying to figure out what's going on with this. I might just have like our dates or something wrong. Okay, so no transaction dates showing up. Interesting. Why is that? We should be mapping through transactions. Are these not this month? They are this month. We should have 2 transactions coming through. Because we have a transaction on 17, 17, and then 15. So we should have 3. So what is going on with this guy? If the transaction date, let's see what's going on here. We're getting the transactions from the, that'll be from this index page, right? Set transactions for goals. Let's make sure we're getting these back. So console.log. Goal. I'm pretty sure this part was working. But you know what? We're not actually tracking anything right now, I don't think. Right? So I think that's the issue. Let's track a couple things. I think the issue is this. So click on this one. Track towards weekly goals. Okay, click on this one. Hard to kind of tell. Do this one. And then we'll do the 12th. This one should be hidden. Okay, so right now it says 298. which I don't think is right. So our weekly goal here, here. So now if we come back into here and come into our goal tracking card, and we probably want to move some of this logic out of here. I don't know that it belongs in here. Now let's go ahead and say, like, we have this week's transactions, console.log. This week's transactions. Okay, and then I have this week's transactions. Let's see, so big bank, 218. And go through here, next one, same block, blah, blah, blah. That one also says 218 for some reason. That's not correct, which is, I don't know what's going on with that date. And my monitor shut off. I don't know why my monitor's being like this. 216. Oh, you know what? It's our JavaScript date stuff. Okay. So even though this says 217, whenever we take a look at our transactions, how are we dealing with this? Transactions card. Are we just like, so transaction date is date equal to new date, transaction date. And then let's see here. Update user transactions, yada, yada, yada. So we just have two locale string. Okay. So this locale string shows 218. But we come back in here. So if I say, because this is kind of messing up everything, we could just say like -1 dot set, how do I want to do this? Although it's actually on the, it's on the transaction object itself, right? Because like we're printing out the transactions. This is the straight up transaction. We almost need to say transaction date dot, and t dot date they think is a string. Or are we displaying the we might be displaying it improperly actually on the front end. I think it might be actually front end, because I bet the date is supposed to say like 218. We come here, look at this big bank one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like the actual date on the transaction itself that we got back from Teller. Well, yeah, Teller. So I hate how our dates are always off by a day. Let's see here. JavaScript date off by 1 day. Let's see how we fix this. This is yucky. So basically what they're doing, they don't need to do this. They get the UTC date and then they get a local date. So we need to do that probably, we need to probably make like a date util, which I'm not going to deal with at this moment. Because yeah, these need to match what's going on actually inside the transaction. So basically what we need to do, I don't know where we'd put this util at, maybe services. Do we have a utils? We do have a utils. So let's just throw it in here. We'll go ahead and say const, I can call it, we can call it parse date string, that's fine. Parse date string. And then this is going to go ahead and take in the date. It'll be a string or date. Okay. We don't need the regex that this guy is using in this Medium article, because we know it's going to come in as like a date string without anything. We're going to say const UTC date is equal to new date of the date, like so. And then const local date can be equal to new date. And we're going to say UTC date dot get time plus UTC, UTC, if I could date, type date dot get time zone offset plus, and then he says plus 60,000, which I think is like a day in milliseconds. And then we simply just return the date. Return the local date. And then this will return a date object. Now let's see if this will work. So let's go back into our transaction card. And where we're doing this, we'll check to see if we have a date. And then we'll go ahead and call parse date. Pass in that date. And we'll call .toLocale. It's actually parse date string, I think. And this is coming from our utils, I believe. Yes, okay. We need to export this. Let's also go ahead and export parse date string. We might not want this to come here. We might want this in a different location. But for the time being, it's fine. Okay, let's relog in. Or recreate our account. Keep in mind, in like the live environment, this won't be happening. So, username. We want to sign in again whenever we come back. We're just in the test environment, so it wipes all of our data. The tracking expenses, goal name will be weekly spending. Done. Put just like 300 in there. Done. Commit and complete setup. And we have an error. Yep, god damn it. Okay, I think we need, what we have to do, I think we have to turn off this completely. I think we need to come back in Expo Go. Restart this. And then hopefully it drops our database. When it does this, you can't really do anything. Okay, so success was true undefined. It should have dropped everything. Hopefully it did. We'll see here. Otherwise, we're going to be fighting the database. This database tool that we're using does not do very good on like clearing data and stuff, unfortunately. That's what's kind of nice about using stuff like Spring Boot for the backend, is whenever you're in one of these like test accounts, or like whenever you're in one of these test environments, whatever, and you restart the app, you can literally wipe the database every single time. Weekly spending, and then goal amount 300. I just wasn't really trying to host a Java backend. There we go. Holy moly, spent a lot of money this month. Okay, so there we go. We're back. Like I never left. Now the question is this actually 216? So if we click on this, does this actually... That did not work. So that's cool. So this parse date did not work. Maybe it's the to locale string that's breaking it. Like, we tried this parse date util and it didn't do it. This is gonna be a mess. It's gonna print a billion of them. Yeah. 217. The UTC date is correct. 217, 215. We look at this. This one says 216, 214. Okay, so the UTC date is correct. So this const, whenever we say const date new date, that is creating the date properly. Oops. But whenever we console .log local, let me say local date, and maybe it's the to locale string that's breaking it. Okay, we have a lot of transactions here. So local also says 2617. So this is working as we kind of expect. Local is the same as UTC. 260217. I just added a little bit of time here. So it's the dot, so local date dot to locale string. What if we say to date string instead? Yeah, so whenever you do to date string, that's when it breaks everything. Why? JavaScript to date string date off by 1 day. Time zone differences. So we've tried this already. Specify time as local midnight. We tried this with the local date string. How's it going, Zena? I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good day. Hopefully things are better. Replace hyphens with slashes. I could try that. So if we say, what if we say I'm doing pretty good. A little tired this morning, but what can you do? Is what is. So if we say date dot and then let's say date is a string. Okay, and then we say date dot replace all slashes or dashes with slashes. What does this look like? And then so we are working on, what did that break? A finance tracker. Why did that break that? It's basically to help me keep track of where my money is going and stuff like that. And I know these exist out in the wild already, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to learn about a new technology and then also make something useful for myself. So right now we're just playing with kind of like some fake data that the API or like the application that I use to actually grab my information from, it's just sending me back some like dummy data, and that's what we're playing with. And of course, we broke the database again. Right now, we have an issue where the dates are not matching up properly. So we are working on getting the dates to match up properly for our transactions and the goals. So 1 second here. Not Indeed, I want Expo Go. So if I load this up really quick and then I put in my name and then link my account, then open up this guy, username, whoops, password, and then continue, do this, click on tracking expenses, we'll just put like weekly spending, and then we'll put like 300 as the goal. So right now you can see that it says that this random transaction to Jose Salsas is on 217 on our main screen. But if I scroll up here, let's see here. If I scroll up, you can see that interesting, this is not showing up properly. Here we go. UTC says 218. So I don't know, you can probably find some pretty humble people out there. I appreciate you. So yeah, you can see that for some reason our dates are not coming back properly, so that's fun. So let's see here. What if I say, I'm just gonna say UTC date, and this is a side quest right now, dot set date, which should be the day, to UTC, and actually let's say dot, no, and I haven't streamed daily, I just stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I haven't streamed every single day. What if we say set hours? I've just been doing, I did every day because of, at the time, I just got done working on a really big project that I upload to YouTube. So I was just kind of live streaming every day to supplement content on YouTube. But now that I've like gotten through that whole thing, then I'm only streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're gonna say UTC date.get hours. See, like, we already tried this though, and local still didn't want to work. Let's say set time maybe. And we'll say dot get time plus UTC date get time zone offset plus yep. So I was just kind of doing daily streams because of like the new game that came out and all that stuff, but now that I'm kind of on a more regular schedule, you could kind of say, where it's like UTC console.log this. Now that I'm kind of like on a more regular schedule, uploading like 3 times a week on YouTube, I kind of just stream on the same days that I upload videos at this point. Okay, so we're not seeing anything. Kind of want to refresh the app. Let's refresh the app. I appreciate that's the goal. Appreciate that. I used to listen to like on my Minecraft streams, I still do. I used to listen to like lo-fi radio, but the lo-fi radio copyright strikes you on YouTube. Not really copyright strikes you, but they demonetize your videos on YouTube. And I like basically upload the VODs to YouTube so people can go back and like watch what we worked on. So all my VODs were getting demonetized. So now I listen to like a non-copyright like streaming playlist, which isn't quite as relaxing as Lo-Fi Girl, but it is what it is. Are we not console logging? Oh, I'm not. I'm gonna say console log and UTC. Whoops. But yeah, that's the goal, to kind of just like be relaxed and chill. Right? Copyright sucks. I don't want to freak you out, but I might even... streams might slow down even a little bit more. We'll see. I'm trying to balance kind of being able to sleep enough and work out and like everything else, so I might have to start streaming on like just the weekends. So, you know, sometimes we're just busy and that's okay. You can't make every single stream. But yeah, I might like, if you're not subbed to my YouTube, not trying to plug it or anything, at some point, like if I am gonna switch from like 3 streams a week to like 2 on the weekend, I'll definitely make a YouTube video to like update that. Okay, so the dates are correct here, but whenever we do the UTC console.log UTC date dot do locale strings and to break everything. So what if we say, so ISO returns string in ISO format. So if we say date string returns a date as a string value, what does this look like? And it'd probably be like Saturday. Like what we'd probably end up doing for streams if I change stuff is Sunday, Feb 15th. Why? What I'd probably do is stream like Minecraft on Saturday or something, or Minecraft on Friday night, and then like another video game on Saturday night. So what if we say UTC.set date? I'm about to give up on, not give up on this, but just do it this way. This way, oh my goodness. Either that or we just format this, because this is getting annoying. Because like the UTC date is fine. I'm about to just like say return string instead. About to just do this. UTC date, return backticks, $ curly brace, and say UTC date dot get, and then we're gonna start with month. Get month, and then slash $ curly brace, UTC date dot get, and then this would be date. And the only reason that I'm thinking about possibly changing like stream schedule and stuff is just because right now I'm trying to make YouTube videos. I'm trying to work out basically every day. And then I'm also trying to like get enough sleep to recover from working out. And I'm also trying to I'm also trying to edit YouTube videos, and I want to work on some longer courses and some other stuff. So it's like I kind of don't have enough time during the day to like really work on literally every single thing that I want to work on. Like yesterday, so because right now basically what I do is on these days when I stream, obviously I live stream, I don't work on any videos. And then I've been trying to work on my other long-term project. And if I guess I didn't have two long-term projects going on at once, it'd be a lot easier. But like yesterday I recorded a bunch of videos, and then now I need to go through and actually edit those videos, but I also need to record more videos, so on and so forth. So like if I were to only stream on the weekends, then Monday through Friday morning, I could just work on recording, editing videos. And then on the weekend, I could relax and, you know, just like hang out more or less. Now, I don't know how a Friday/Saturday morning stream would affect people like you being able to come in who are... It's still broken. Why? What is going on with this? Because I know that I think you're in a different time zone, different area than me, so it might make it a little bit more difficult for someone like you to join in, unfortunately. But so this should be month +1. But why is get date still breaking? So now it's saying 2/17, but this is still 2/18. Why are you being annoying? The UTC date is... Oh wait a minute. UTC date is 18, yeah. But why is parse date? Why is this console.log return val? Am I working in the wrong spot, maybe? I might be working in the wrong spot. Yeah, that's the only thing that would kind of suck. Why is this... Is the index off by 1 on date? Because this is correct. That'd be the only thing that kind of stinks. Oops. So I'm gonna try to do UTC date dot set. I'm gonna try doing that other thing that I just seen. Let's see here. If I can't fix this again. I'm gonna say UTC.set time. I might already have this, I don't know. And we're gonna say UTC date.get time plus this offset. See what happens. And I broke it. Gosh dang it. Working with this database is a little bit finicky, but just about to restart the entire app. Might as well. So that would be kind of what sucks. Unless I got up early on Saturday and Sunday and done it, but yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like a way that I can get work done in the mornings before I go to actual work, like editing and stuff and recording and all that stuff, but also get everything else that I want done. There's just simply not enough hours in the day whenever you have a family and all that good stuff. Alright, so if we come back up here, I think we might have it linked up now. UTC value is 2026-17. So I have it set to 6. Now it's set to 6, which I think is our time zone or my time zone. 26, and then return val is 17. So 217.26, 217.26. I think we finally have the dates matched up. Now the question is, if I say UTC date, now if I say UTC date dot to date string, what is it going to print out? Let's see. Feb 17, 2026. So now if I say to locale date string, what is it going to print out? Let's see here. Monitor shut off. Cool. I don't know why my monitor's being like this. Okay, let's see here. Okay, there we go. 217.26. Now we could update this even more. We could update this even more to what's the word for it? Display long date, which I might end up doing at some point, but for now it's fine. So let's go ahead and return here, return our UTC date, UTC date dot to locale date string, and then delete all of this. Okay, so now that should be safe and it should match up with that. And now I don't remember what we're actually trying to work on. Okay, so now we want to work on tracking the transactions properly, right? Okay, so now we want to check. So let's do, so here we have two transactions that should track towards this week and one that shouldn't. Also, we need to make sure that we add an extra decimal here. That's like another small thing we need to do. Track that towards weekly spending. Track this one towards weekly spending. And then here, this one is outside of our range. Okay, so now we come into here. We have a mess for one. But our this week's transactions there should only be two of them. 217, 216. Working. Cool. Now, we need to make sure that now we need to basically like determine what like which goals to use for this tracking number. So we need to say like we'll say let transactions track equal to an empty array. And then maybe we can either switch or maybe we check if our transaction or if our goal dot recurring. So if it's a recurring goal, a little bit yucky, we'll switch on the goal dot occurrence type. And then we'll have a case for our weekly. We'll have a case for our monthly. And then default will be our yearly. So here we'll return, or we'll say transactions to track is going to be equal to our filter weekly goal transactions. Here, our transactions to track will equal to filter monthly goal transactions. And then by default, our transactions to track will equal to filter yearly goal transactions. Then we want to go ahead and break out of our switch so we don't actually overflow. And break out of our switch. And right now these don't return anything. So we'll go ahead and just return an empty array for now out of these. So it's fine with us. Return empty array. Okay, now it's fine. I don't know if I spelled something wrong here, or why this is mad at us. Maybe because, I don't know. Whatever, we're gonna ignore it. So now we don't need this. We can still do like a console log here, just to make sure. So log weekly. We can say this week, right? And then transactions to track. And then what we do is actually say transactions to track dot for each. And this is going to be I think schema dot transaction array. I think that's what we pass it. And of course we need to update the other things, right? So I think we're about ready to like reset. And then now transaction to track set tracked amount. The tracked amount right now is not proper because, oh no, maybe it is. No, I think that is working. I'm gonna reset the app. Didn't break anything because there wasn't an error. On the freedom tracker, we go into here. We'll go ahead and say, my name is Ethan. Link our account. We're gonna make this prettier at some point. Username. Password. Go. Continue. And we'll do Bank of America checking card. Sure. Tracking expenses. Weekly spending. I'm gonna figure out a way to, like, I guess see when that's open. But for now it's fine. And then this is fine. Goal amount is gonna be 300. Done. Submit. Okay. We have one 18, 17, 16, 15, and then 13. So if we did all of these, we tracked this one, goes to 13. Go to this one, goes to 115. Track this one on the 16th, goes to 169. And we track this one on the 15th. It should also go up once again. Okay, so the 15th didn't track. So 215 should have tracked right there. If we come back up here, so transaction date is equal to new date. So this transaction date, we might need to do something like we did previously, where it's the UTC date. And maybe we refactor the way our dates are being stored. Although it's a transaction coming from teller, so we can't really do anything about that. But I think our date is, I think we're gonna need to say, like, whoops. I broke it. Go. So I think for this, we're gonna have to say kind of like what we did here. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this is parse date string. I'm also gonna go ahead and create a const generate UTC date with offset equal to date string or date, and I guess it could be a number as well. It's going to return a date, and then we're going to say const UTC date equal to new date. We're going to pass in that date, and we're going to say UTC date dot set time, and we're going to do the same exact thing we did here. So it's going to be slightly different, and paste it in there. Here we do this, and make sure we do this. And here we're going to go ahead and return UTC date. Oops. And then what we could do here is we can say const UTC date is equal to generate UTC date with offset, pass in the date, and then we can go ahead and return UTC date dot locale string. And it should do the same exact thing. Didn't change anything. Okay. So now if we come back into our transaction card, our goal tracking card, we're going to say that our transaction date is equal to generate or get, what I call this. I also need to export it. So generate UTC date with offset. And I just broke everything. Yay. Generate UTC date with offset t.date. Maybe it's not broken. I don't know. But we're probably going to have to reset this. See if it lets us in or not. Okay. Did this. Link our account. Connect. Bank of America. Username. Password. Continue. Checking. Say weekly spending. And then 300. Okay. Okay, so it does let us in. Terrific. Okay, so we're not going to track this one. And we're not printing out. So we won't track this. Okay, so this one, 217, we hit track. It should go towards. It does. Okay, 217, once again, we go towards. Did. 216 should go towards. Okay, 215 should go towards. I don't know if it did or not. 95. Let's see. I do not see it here. I see a T-Mobile for 216. Whenever we clicked on this guy. Okay, so this one is not working properly. So transaction date, starting date. I wonder what the starting date actually is. Let's double check the starting date. So this might be broken too. Our starting date and ending date might be slightly broken. If we unclick this. 215. I think that's right. It might be because we're looking at the time format. So like, because I think the date on this transaction is going to be like 6 whatever, which is before the starting date. So let's see, JavaScript, compare dates without time. So we can normalize. Or compare date strings. We don't want quality. We can try this. Let's see here. So here, our starting date is just because it's today's date, right? Yeah. Because today is this. And these are just like new dates. So what we'd want to do, probably, I don't like this. We might make another util that compares the dates. Where we can, we almost need to, unfortunately, like create another new date. and be like, okay, here's just the month, day, year. Like we almost need to say like new date of parse date string transaction date new date parse date string. We almost need to do like something like this. And new date parse date string, pass it only the date, and then new date, and then parse date string. This is really ugly. Can we import that? We can. Did I typo something? I think I forgot a parenthesis here. Parenthesis here. And then let's see. Need another parenthesis there. So here we take only the date string, create new dates, and compare them. Take only the correct date strings to ignore time and then compare. That's what we're trying to do here. Okay, so if we click on 215, hopefully it tracks. No. Why? Why is this not tracking? Transaction date is greater than or equal to the starting date. Why? Why is this not working? Can we console.log this, the transaction date? Console.log the starting date. Transaction date. I love dealing with this. And my computer screenshot off again. Starting date. Oops, comma. Okay, so transaction date 2/17, starting date this. That's proper. I think right now we're broken. Let's reset this. I think we're scuffed right now. Should reset our database for us. We didn't have any errors. Okay, link your account. Oops. Ooh, that's a side. That's a edge case I haven't seen before. Okay. We might need to look into that edge case. I need to look into that edge case and see what actually happened there. Okay, hopefully this lets us set this up. Goal name, weekly, spending, done. 300, done, commit. Okay, it let us through. Okay, so whenever we click on one, let's say this one, 215, track spending. The transaction date is this, but the starting date is this. So maybe our let's update our starting date and ending date to use our new function. So so starting date should be equal to, this is going to be really gross. So we're going to go ahead and say ending date is equal to, we're going to wrap this. And then we're going to go ahead and say generate UTC date with offset. And we're going to literally do that. And then we're going to do the same thing with starting date. So starting date, we're going to go here. And we're going to go ahead and say starting date is equal to, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap this as well. We probably don't need to wrap it. Probably can just do this actually, now that I think about it. But same thing here. We're going to go ahead and say, make sure this is not going to break. If I can get these dates lined up properly, then generate UTC date with offset. We'll do the same thing here. Ending date is equal to wrap this guy. I think it wrapped it properly for us. No, it didn't. There we go. I want them all generate UTC date with offset. I want all the times to match, basically, is what I want. And this one is working, but starting date is still not working. So what we're gonna do is this. We're going to strip. So what we'll do is this. We're gonna strip the time off of that. We're gonna delete this. And we're gonna go ahead and keep this. Like so. So it's still gonna have this. But we're gonna go ahead and call generate UTC date with offset. And then we're gonna go ahead and call parse date string, and then pass in the ending date. And we're gonna do the same thing here. This is really ugly, but basically we want to get rid of the time, because the time is breaking things. Parse date string, and then this will go ahead and be starting date. We'll do the same thing here. I don't love this, but, and then this will be parse date string, and then ending date. Like at this point, I'm literally just trying to get it so that they match the time zones. Cool, not a number. Transaction date's working. The starting date and ending date are broken now. Okay. Y. Should be able to take in a string. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick break to use the restroom. Right now our transaction date is where we want it at. However, we cannot get our starting date where we want it. We have this guy, right? I appreciate the follow. Okay, so what we'll do instead, we still need to set these though, right? So like, still need to be new dates. What are we using today for? So const today is equal to a new date. And then today's day of week, we use this. We get the days to subtract. And then we take starting date dot get date minus. Then ending date, we take just today's date. So what if we did today first? Let's do this. And then this is going to go ahead and be a new date where, and maybe we say today is equal to generate UTC with offset and then new date. And then let's see what today looks like. Kind of refactoring this filter weekly goal a little bit here. So today, and let's do this so we can see what's going on here. Oops. So today, whoops. If I could do the right thing. So today is not doing the offset like I want. So that's taking the date. So what if we said, what if we did this? So today will equal to a new date. So today is equal to a new date. And then starting date will equal to a generate UTC with offset backticks $ curly brace dash $ curly brace dash $ curly brace. And then what if we say that this is today get full year, and then today dot get month plus 1, and then this is today dot get date. What if we did that? We take today's year, month, day, and then we can add and subtract whatever here instead. Then we can delete this, delete that. What does this look like? See if the starting date looks better. So starting date is where we want. Now ending date, we need to do the same thing. Ending date is generate UTC date with offset backticks $ curly brace today.get full year dash $ curly brace today.get month +1 dash $ curly brace today.get date. And that converts it to the correct date there. Okay. So now, what is this excuse? So now our transaction date is 2/26/15/6. And the starting date is this. So now, transaction date should be greater than or equal to the starting date. And the transaction date should also be less than or equal to the ending date. There we go. Now it's working. What a fight. So we'd probably end up wanting to pull this out into its own little mini function. This is the Expo framework. It's not really, I was gonna go with plain React Native, but the setup is just a lot bigger pain. All right, so now that we have this cleaned up, and sorry that you came in at a bad time, I'm gonna go ahead and run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. So that's why I said bad timing here. But it looks like our weekly spending is now gonna get tracked properly. So now 213, we track this, it shouldn't count up because it's outside of the date range. Cool, been fighting dates all morning. Now I think I earned myself a well-earned restroom break. So I'll be right back, y'all. And we'll continue working on filtering out some stuff.
Don't burn it down. Burn it down. We don't burn it down. Burn it down. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder.
I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker.
Show them. Change the station with a new shit.
murder. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. 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 I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy,
Alright, so now our weekly transactions are able to be tracked properly. Hopefully I didn't just break something. I just clicked on the wrong button in the wrong area. So now we can start working on filtering monthly. So we're going to do the same song and dance here. Let's copy paste this. Like I said, this can be extracted into its own function at some point. But for now, that's probably fine. Let's go ahead and do this and paste that in. Now we have today's date. We have today's day of week. So now instead of today's day of week, we probably want today's month. Then we'll go ahead and say today.get month and then +1. So we get the proper month. Okay. And then we have our starting date and ending date. That's perfectly fine. And we're going to need to do something similar once again. Whoops, broke this. So we're going to need to do something similar for monthly. If we come in here, so right now we're checking to see if today is Sunday. What we'd want to do, we want to check to see if today is, let's see here. This would actually be easier because we just need to get the first day of the month and the last day of the month, right? So we just need to check to see JavaScript get first day of month. Sure. Get first and last date of current month. That's exactly what I want. So we can say you can do date, full year. Okay, so we can do something like this. So starting date will equal to we don't need, so here starting date they say month +1 and then 0. So starting date can be like 1 here. So that'll be the full year today. And then here, I guess this would be +2 and then 0 is what they're saying to try. Console.log. month starting date, and then starting date, and then console.log month ending date, and then ending date. I guess it does need to be slightly different. And then when I'm using today's date, we don't even need today's month, I don't think. I mean, we could just throw today's month in this, but it's not really necessary. Now the only things we need to reset our goal here to be like a monthly goal. Go and enter our name. Go and link our account. America. Username. And password. Go. Continue. And then my checking account. Track expenses. We'll say monthly spending. And let's maybe say like 1,200. Not 12,000, 1,200. Okay, so now we have a monthly. Okay, now we have a 1,200 monthly spending amount. And what I wanted to see was, okay, so I think we need to click on something before we actually see. Do not actually call, no, we should be calling filter. Oh, filter monthly goal transactions. Oops. Now if case is monthly. 26021. Now the only thing, nope, that is right. So we have our 6. So it should be as easy as that. We have our first day and last day. So now if we come back in here, we can do something very similar. We just go ahead and get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. And this one is like super easy. So we can just go ahead and return transactions.filter the transaction. Literally do the same exact thing. Like if our transaction, we need to go ahead and get the transaction date. So const transaction date. This part can be fixed up. Date, and then if our transaction date greater than or equal to starting date, and our transaction date is less than or equal to the ending date, it's in between our date ranges, we'll go ahead and return that transaction. Otherwise we won't track it for this month. So now in theory, since we have a monthly spending goal, what we can go ahead and do is say, let's do 218. Obviously this one is within the month. Track it, it goes up. Now if we come down here to one that's like, you can find one to 129. We click on this one, it shouldn't track. Doesn't track. But the thing is, we'd pull this from the database whenever we load back in, and then it would basically track because words are hard. It would track, it would still be there because we had tracked it the month before, because this is recurring every single month. This pops back up. Okay, and then yearly is going to be even easier. Basically for yearly, all we're going to do is say const today and this. And we can basically just hard code this, right? So like today And then we can say UTC generate today got full date. So this will be 0 or 1 actually. So 1 and then 1. So this will be January 1st. And then this one will be full year and month will be 12 again. And then this will be like 31. I believe it's 31 days in December. I'm stupid, so forgive me. There is. So this basically within this year. And then we can basically do the same exact thing. I don't know that there's, whoops, any transactions that are older than a year. So that is what it is. But then here we can go ahead and return our transactions dot filter do one of these const and do const and transaction. I lost what I was doing. Date is equal to generate etc date with offset e dot date, and then if our transaction date is equal to or greater than or equal to starting date and transaction date less than or equal to ending date, return t. And then now that's all set up. Now we can go ahead and extract, do one more layer, const filter transactions. This will go ahead and take in a starting date, an ending date, and we should have, we have the transactions because they're there. So literally we can just do one of these. You link this, paste that, and then we can just go ahead and return filter transactions and pass in the starting date and the ending date. We actually call this filter transactions for recurring. And honestly, I don't think I spelled recurring right across the application. So we're going to have to fix that. But this is going to be filter transactions for recurring. We'll do the same exact thing for the rest of these. And that cleans that up a little bit. Now we're probably going to want like specifically like a date utils maybe. Or like a transaction util or goal util or something. But for the time being, this is fine. And then, oops. Gotta love the yoink. So now this kind of cleans this up a lot. The most complicated one is the weekly, because we have to kind of figure out Sunday to Sunday. But yearly and monthly are pretty easy. Now let's just go ahead and check the whatever it's called, the yearly. And then for non-recurring, we don't really need to check anything because we already have a check in place where we won't render the card at all if we're outside of the goal date, like the goal's expired basically. So we won't even show the goal card whatsoever. So we don't need to worry about that. So we go ahead and put in our name, link our account, continue, connect to this, username, password. We're almost ready to connect to my actual bank account, which is kind of scary, but full name will go ahead and be weekly. Did I break this? Did. Week or yearly spending, I guess. Doesn't make any sense, but yearly restart on the 1st of the year. Goal amount I scuffed like 2,000 or something, I don't know. Okay, we really have this scuffed. Cool. That's not good. I guess we're just gonna restart the app. Like, scuff that. We need to go ahead and probably work around that too. Edge case. Let's try not to tab at the wrong time. Username. Password. Save. Sure. Track expenses. Yearly. Goal. Go ahead and turn this into yearly. Goal amount will be like 4,000, I guess. Submit. Okay, so now if we obviously do this one, we need to deal with making this into money. Something we can do later. Do that. I got turned into 26. And then if we see, let's see if we can find one outside of this year. I don't know that we're going to, but maybe. So here's one on 12. So now if we go ahead and click on this guy, this one shouldn't count towards because it's in 2025. Didn't count towards it. Cool, so that's working. Then the last thing we can do is let's restart the app again and let's make like a one that expires. So Ethan, done, link your account. Okay, Bank of America, username and password. Go, connect. Bank of America, sure. We'll just do like a goal name, savings. Let's go ahead and say this is a, whoops, termed one. And let's say we want it to end at the end of the year, maybe. We'll just say this is going to go until December 31st. We're going to have not a very good break, but it is what it is. Goal amount, 10,000. Okay, so we have a $10,000 savings goal that ends at the end of the year. Submit. Okay, savings. So now let's say that let's say that this Bank of Eurasia, we transferred money from one account to another. Like, this is just all hypothetical. So that means we wouldn't track that towards our monthly spending. We would track it towards our savings. Okay, so that didn't work. So let's see what's going down here. So we haven't set our transactions to track. So otherwise, our transactions to track is equal to the transactions that got passed. There we go. Right, so now because we didn't actually spend this money, quote unquote, we're not going to count it towards our monthly spending because we didn't spend the money. We just transferred it to our savings and that bumped up our goal a little bit. So that looks good. So that's basically our goal tracking. The only thing that I kind of want to do now is just clean up this guy a little bit. Like, this is kind of hard to work with. Maybe make these into a maybe make the transaction card actually look like a transaction card. The goal tracking card looks fine, like this item, but our transaction card looks kind of gross. It's hard to actually see what's going on. So right now our transactions card, see what we got going on here. So transactions card, so we're gonna go ahead and say padding horizontal, I think is what we want. Be like 12. Looks better. And then we'll go ahead and do a padding vertical, like 8. Just give ourselves a little bit of space here in between them. Okay. And maybe we do a border and border color, we'll just say gray for now. Just kind of like style this up a little bit for the last few minutes. And border width will be 1. Okay, looks better. And then we'll need a border radius of like 4. Sure, looks fine. Okay, so that looks fine. We should really probably, the thing is, I don't remember if we made this in this video or not. I want to go through and do like some refactoring later on to clean up a lot of this like negative and stuff like that to make it look better. So something I would like to do is, this one is fine, it's kind of ugly, but I want this to have like stacked beside it. So that is something else that I want to work on really quick. Whoops. And then after that, we'll probably be done for the day. It might be a shorter stream, but we got what we wanted done. And then I'll start looking into how we're going to deal with doing our whatever it's called. So our track goals has a touchable opacity, track towards goals, view. We'll go ahead and call this style equal to styles dot, and then we'll go ahead and say transaction card track towards goals. Go and create that. So transaction card track, oops, track towards and goals. So width will be 100%. I want to display flex this. Oops, display flex this, maybe. And I definitely want flex direction to be row. So now that should put, oh, and I broke something. What I break? Transaction card, track towards goals, and we're gonna have to restart the app. This wrong. Styles dot because of this. There we go. Okay, it's fine. Looks good. So now we're gonna go ahead and say flex wrap will be wrap, I believe. We don't really need that at the moment, but we'll want it. And then we'll also go ahead and have a gap of like 4. We do this. Okay, and then let's also work on the touchable opacity. So the touchable opacity, this is kind of gross, but because of the way that React Native works, style is equal to styles dot transaction card track towards goals goal card. Okay, let's go ahead and deal with this style. Copy it. Let's paste it down here. Paste it here. Open this up. Style it. Okay, so width is going to go ahead and be fit dash content. We're going to go ahead and have a padding horizontal of like 4. and a padding vertical of maybe like 2, because we're gonna have a border width on it of 1, a border, and we'll say color of gray, have a border radius of, I'm gonna say 4. I'll say 2. Let's say 4. See what it looks like. And then there should be a border like decoration or border style. And we'll do dashed. And I don't know why width is mad at me. I spelled width wrong. Does it not like fit? Doesn't like fit content. Maybe that's just automatic. I'll just delete that, I guess. Okay, this also needs our display flex. Whoops. Display flex, if I could type. Oh my goodness. And then flex dash or flex direction will be row, and then gap will be like 2. And then we also probably want to center. I mean, that doesn't look too bad. It like kind of looks center. Let's also go ahead and justify content center and align items in the center just to be safe. Yeah, it didn't really change much. And then here, let's also center this. So justify content. Here, we probably want this to be center and align items. Select start. Make sure we do this. Okay, this one we want actually select start and this one center. There we go. Looks better. So now, and we could probably do like if it's we could probably do something where like if it's checked, like here you have like the X. So we could probably do something where it's like if it's active, it like is outlined or something. If it's not, it isn't. But now I want to see what this looks like whenever we have multiple can't talk, multiple goals. Let's just test that really quick, and then that'll kind of be that for this stream. And that's kind of that's kind of everything for tracking our transactions and stuff as well. So put in our username, put in our password, go continue. Sure. Oh, I guess we need to deal with mocking, but we might not need to deal with mocking. Yeah, we need to deal with mocking as well, I guess. So let's do a couple, say saving money. Go ahead and say like new car or something, I don't know. Just making something up. This one will be a termed. Let's say we want to buy a new car at the end of May. Making something up here. We want to save $8,000 for a car down payment. Okay, so we want to track our expenses. Go ahead and say weekly spending. Done. Then weekly is fine. Goal amount, we only want to spend $300. Okay, and then reduce debt. We'll just say like student loans. Make sure I spell loans right. There we go. And this one, let's say every month we want to pay off $1,000 of student loans. Okay, so now we have new car, weekly spending, student loans. It actually isn't a horrible spending ratio. And then if we click on this, okay, so that's not quite working the way that we want it. So we might need to flex start this as well. And why is it not kind of wrapping the way I'd hoped it would? Might just like flex 0, 1 or something. Because what I was hoping for was to have it here and the next one like here and then there. Flex row, wrap items to next row. Yeah. That should do what I want. Yeah, so why is it not working? Let's double check this. So we have our track towards goals. And then we just have this guy. And then this parent. So this should wrap the way that I want it. It should go 1 item, 2 item, 3 item, 4 item. So why is this not wrapping the way that I want it to? Let's see. So box, display wrap, flex wrap, wrap. And then they have box star, flex 1, 1, 160. I don't know why 10 is different, but oh, it takes up the entire space. So like we should be able to do flex wrap and then the goal cards need to have flex 1, 1. I don't know if I need to like do this. Let's say React Native. It might be because of the length, maybe. Are the containers defined with 100? It is. I think it is anyway. Let's see. So parents. Transaction card, track towards goal. Transaction card, track towards goal, correct with 100%. Does not like flex. And it looks like it needs a... Let's see. Remove flex 1 to fix a problem. Like what if we did add style equal to flex 1? Okay, and then here, like I'm pretty sure there's a way to do like this or something, but it does not like that. Flex 1 and then style. Can we add flex 1 to this now? Does not like that. It does not like adding flex 1. Just messing around at this point, trying to get this to look a little bit nicer. The flex 1 does not want to do it. Oh, you know what? That's why. Do I need this extra view? Do I need this extra view? There we go. That's what I wanted to see. I didn't need that extra view. Looks a lot better. Okay, cool. That's kind of what we wanted to look like. We got everything in here. Now, obviously, this is pretty ugly. I'm going to rework these transactions and also probably like make this whole page scroll and all of that good stuff, but that's going to be a later date issue. I'm going to go ahead and save all this and commit it to our branch. Commit, or whoops. Okay, add, commit, -m, goal tracking, almost done. Need to look into mocking probably. Push that. Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to mocking, I'm sure we're updating the database, right? Let's just look at this really quickly. I don't have too much time before I have to go to work. So, I don't think it's going to be in our services. Yeah, it's not. So we go back to our components, our transactions, our transaction card. So this is where we're actually like track towards spending. So yeah, then we are persisting the transaction, and then update the transaction is equal to this. And then we just update this and update the user state. So to deal with mocking, all we'd have to do is let's see here. So we have this track goal that we need to deal with, which actually updates the database. So we can just skip this if mocking. Mocking, just skip this part. I think the same thing here. So this is flip the UI switch to track towards spending. So basically here as well, all we'd have to do is ignore this bit. And just check to see if we're in the mocking environment. And then just ignore this and then just store it inside of a global context. I can do that really quickly before Friday. I'll try to remember to do that. And then on Friday, what I want to go ahead and do is one, I think start refactoring a lot of this gross stuff out of here and cleaning things up a little bit. And then two, on Friday, I would like to start working on getting some design system elements started if we have time. I don't know if we're going to have time to do design system elements, but I want to focus video 6 / episode 5 of the Freedom Tracker on working towards getting our design system set up, getting our theming set up, all of that good stuff. make like the background look nice and all of that stuff. So I do want to throw a to do in here because there's no other changes. So to do, update the transaction card for mocks. I'm gonna go ahead and do that off stream because all we gotta do is just bring in our is mocking and all of that stuff. And then a lot of this stuff we might not be able to, like this we can probably go ahead and move to something else. This probably needs to stay here, some other stuff. But that's gonna go ahead and do it for this stream. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for coming by later on if you're watching the VOD. But this has been Ethan Uncoder, and I'll see you guys in the next stream on Friday where we'll go ahead and continue working on Freedom Tracker.